everybody, today I'm participating in a What About Me tag. I was tagged by Stacy from Stacy Williams channel. If you don't know who she is a phenomenal crafter. She has a wonderful crafting channel, but not every day is crafty related. She did this tag last week and I've actually worked more than I normally do during the week, and so today's Thursday and I'm just now getting around to it, but I promised her I would do it, so here goes. And I'll put a link below for you to check out Stacy if you don't already know who she is. Now, what it is just a list of questions. You know, I've gotten lots of new subscribers over the past few months, and I've done this kind of tag before, but it's been so long ago I don't even remember my answers. And if you'd like to learn more about me, stay tuned, and I will answer some of the questions. Now, I printed them out, and I'll just have to use my glasses so I can read them. Most of it, if I can't see it. But the first one is, what is your first and middle name? Well, my first name is Cynthia, and my middle name is Ann. The question is how old are you? Well, I recently turned 49, and that just about killed me. My husband never seizes the opportunity to remind me that I am knocking on 50's door, so it's coming in next March, whether I like it or not. Where were you born? Well, I was born in Memphis, Tennessee. And where do you live? Well, I have really never left Memphis, Tennessee. I have lived in surrounding areas going to college in North Mississippi and things like that, but I've always lived in Shelby County, and that's where I have been for the last 48 and a half or 49 years, and I don't know where the future holds in about 5 years when my husband retires. It just all depends on where my children are. All right, it says, what are you married? In a relationship, and how long? Well, I've mentioned this before in a marriage or wedding tag. Brian and I have been married 15 and a half years, very happily married. Do you have any kids or grandkids? And I think most of my subscribers know that I have 2 children, 24 and 27, and I have 3 grandchildren. I have 1 in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I have 2 in Louisville, Kentucky. Do you have any nicknames? Well, with my name being Cynthia, it's always been shortened to Cindy. And some people would call me Cindy Lou, even though my middle name's not Lou. Or I had one family always call me Lulu as a child, and I answered to Lulu. My dad, of all names, called me Sister. And now that I'm a grandmother, my nickname is now Mimi. And what is your natural hair color? Well, I never in my life put color on my hair. Now, I did pull it through a cap one time, probably back in the 80s, and put some blonde streaks through it, some bleach streaks or something, but for the most part, I have never put any kind of color on my hair. Now, I permed my hair like crazy and still do periodically, but have never put color on my hair. And I'll show you a picture in a few minutes. Next question is, what is your favorite and least favorite food? Well, my favorite food would probably have to be cheese. I love any kind of cheese. I love cheese and crackers. That's my meal a lot of times. I love Mexican. I love Italian, anything with cheese on it. Probably my favorite would probably have to be, Mexican cheese dip, like Rotel cheese dip on anything. I love it. And my least favorite food, I think I'll save that for a few questions down. That's going to be an odd fact about me. So I'll save that in just a minute. The next thing is, what is your favorite color and why? Well, when I was redoing this room, this is my craft room, I wanted to make this room my own. And so I tried to think of what color, because it was just a blank canvas. This turquoise color that's on these bins, not the lime green, but the turquoise, I would have to say that's probably my favorite color, the turquoise color. And this is the picture I wanted to show you. That this is a picture of my senior picture, and this was probably my first real professional picture ever taken, and I wanted it to be the best. I wanted to look the best I could look, and of course I wore my favorite color, the turquoise. And as you can see, I have the same hair color. I've never colored my hair. I have the same strawberry blonde, whatever you want to call it. Some people call me a 100% redhead. Some people call me strawberry blonde. So I answer to it all. So I kind of consider myself a strawberry redhead. I want to show you that I've always loved turquoise. And another color I wear a lot of is this hot pink. Hot pink and purple, wear that a lot. Usually anything bright. Now, I do love the beiges and the whites, and decorating wise, I like that serene, that monotone look. I just really love bright spring colors. Okay, the next one is, what is your dream job? There's some people that, know early on in their teens what they want to do in life and what they're passionate about. And of course I didn't. I've got 2 or 3 license and degrees that I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. But I made the best decision I could at that time when in my early 20s when I was becoming a teacher. Of course it definitely served its purpose. It was a wonderful profession. But if I had to do it all over again, and I know what I know now, I would love to have gone in broadcast journalism or something like that. When I look at like Christina Ferrari on Home and Family, I mean, she gets to wear these most beautiful clothes and gets to, do DIY projects, and she gets to meet all kinds of celebrities and things, and just a show like that's all about home and family, that just would be the dream job for me. And I would even be willing to do a newscast, news. I certainly wouldn't want to be a reporter, standing out in the raincoat and an umbrella and doing all that kind of stuff, because they glorify that kind of job. But from what little I know about that job, they do a lot of sitting around in vans and news vans and trying to get the story, and they're just under a lot of heat. But some of those news anchors, now that is a cream puff job. I would love to have done that one day. Next one is, have you ever traveled outside the U.S.? I have a few times. My daughter was stationed in northern Michigan for many years, and Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, which is right on the Canadian border. There's not many international bridges where you can cross over into Canada, and it just so happened, she was 1 mile from the international bridge. So we went to Canada a lot. Every time I'd go up there, we would shop and do all kinds of things in Canada. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get to see the beautiful parts of Canada. The big town that was right there near her was kind of like a Memphis or something. It wasn't anything special, but they did have stores and things, and you definitely could tell you were outside of the U.S. because there was a lot of things in French, and of course they don't use American money and things like that. And we do have a trip planned for Niagara Falls in the future, so I want to see the Canadian side over there. And I've been to Mexico a few times. That's always a good time, but we're a little more reserved, taking a European trip anytime soon. That's definitely on my bucket list. My husband said, if you can find a girlfriend to go, y'all take off and go, but I'm not going to do a European tour anytime soon, but I definitely want to do that. Do you have any fears? I guess when you're my age, and I'm approaching the 50 mark, which I know it could happen sooner or later, breast cancer is always in the forefront of many women's minds as they're getting older. And of course, that is just an ongoing fear, because it's got to the point now, we all know somebody who has had it or has it or battling it or whatever the case may be. That's certainly something that comes to my mind. And based on my parents' health, the diabetes and heart disease and all that, that's something I definitely, I'm scared about. That, it's not a matter if, it's a matter of when, if I don't take care of myself, and just your normal fears about what the world's going to be like when my grandchildren get grown, and what's this country going to be like. And then, my husband's line of work, it makes you grateful for every minute you have with them. There's just lots of fears. As you get older, you do become more aware of things. Do you have any tattoos? I have no tattoos. I've just never found anything that I wanted that bad. I've got lots of friends who have them. Both my children have several. My husband has several, but I've just never found anything that I was dying to put on my body permanently. Maybe one day I will. If you would like to know one that I love, if I had the courage to do it, I would. But you'll have to look up Nicole Richie, her tattoo. She has like a dangling charm bracelet on her ankle that has a little cross that's going across the top of her foot. That is probably the most favorite tattoo I've ever found that I would seriously get. But from what I hear, tattoos around your ankle bone and the tops of your feet is like murder. So that's the reason why I won't do it. But if I knew that it was not painless, I would probably do it. Now, I have no birthmarks or scars of any significance that I can think of. All right, what is your favorite TV show or reality show? Now, I don't watch TV as much as I used to, but I do have a few that I do watch faithfully every week. Now, I do keep up with Nicole Curtis, The Rehab Addict, Joanna Chip Gaines from Fixer Upper. I love several of those shows, The Home and Family on Hallmark. Now, and I do watch, and this is just a guilty pleasure, I do keep up with all the Teen Mom shows ever since the beginning. The OG, the Teen Mom 2, I don't know. I've just always kept up with those girls because my daughter started watching them, and that's just something we all have kept up with. And it's kind of like an ongoing soap opera, even though it's, a reality show. And I do watch Catfish on MTV. I just think that's interesting. And then, but my favorite show that I love is called Long Lost Family. It's on TLC. It's actually redone. It was on years ago on another channel, but it's called The Locator. And what it is these adult adoptees, they are looking for long lost family, like their biological parents, and they do all this research through Ancestry.com. And I cannot watch that show without just crying. I mean, it is the saddest thing, but nearly every reunion is a good one. It's a happy ending, but I'm telling you, it is just heart-wrenching, these people that, are looking for their families and just, never being able to look in the eyes of someone that was blood related. I don't know, but it is just a heart-wrenching story. If you've never watched it, it's on TLC called Long Lost Family, and you could even find The Locator maybe on Netflix or something, but it's the same exact type show. I don't even tell people, I loved the Duggars. I watched the Duggars from the very beginning, and I also love Bringing Up Bates. It's a big family like that from Knoxville, Tennessee, and I just have always watched them because it's good, clean fun, and I, TV show, and I like to watch them. Okay, what is your favorite season? Well, I think my favorite season here in Tennessee would have to be late spring, just because that is when my yard is the prettiest. When we first start planting flowers in March, everything is still little, but by the time June gets here and the dead heat is not set in, June is probably my favorite month. But because come July, August, and September, we stay at 100 degrees with humidity down here, and it's just miserable. But June is still usually not as hot, and my flowers have bloomed and filled in, and it's just, my yard is the most beautiful. And that's when we usually have at least one big get together a year with my husband's work guys, or friends and family and stuff like that. All right, what is an odd fact about you? Now, this is back to the eating thing. I don't think I told you my least favorite food is seafood. I cannot, if it could have one little shrimp and that whole plate of pasta, and I can taste it. But I tell you, I could eat catfish, freshwater fish like brim, crappie, all that kind of stuff every day of my life. I love catfish more than anything, and I love bass and crappie and all that. Seafood, I cannot even hardly swallow it. And so it's just an odd fact about me, and I love tuna fish, but if it's tuna, like a tuna at the restaurant, I cannot eat it, and it just tastes so fishy to me, or something about it. And I hate it because my husband loves seafood. He loves oysters. Most restaurants now have, catfish on the menu if it's a seafood place, or they have chicken or something. But, I never let that stop us go to a seafood restaurant or something. But freshwater fish is just a different taste. When did you start doing YouTube? Well, I actually have had a YouTube account for years, but just about 2 years ago, in 2014, I just started watching a few little crafty videos and just realized, this is kind of fun. And, with me not teaching anymore, I thought, this would be the perfect opportunity for me to be more creative and give my crafts a purpose. And because I was always, doing little projects and DIY things and all that stuff, but nobody ever saw them. And I just thought, how fun it would be. And I'm not showing off or trying to, outdo anybody. It was just strictly me sharing things I love to do. And 9 times out of 10, it's something I've seen that I thought I could recreate myself or whatever. Because you hear so much, oh, I'm not crafty. Well, yes, you are. If you get up there and do it, you can do it. Just a matter of you wanting to do it. I want to show people how easy it is. That is the main reason why I started YouTube, was just kind of a creative outlet to, and then just share and inspire others. That was the main thing, and that's when I said in one of my very first videos in 2014. I've met so many wonderful friends from YouTube. I've made connections, seriously, all over this planet. It's just amazing, and I found people that I just 100% click with. They love to thrift store, they love to do upcycle, craft projects and paper crafting. I mean, I love it all. And I tell people I'm a jack of all trades and master of none. That is really me. I don't perfect myself in any particular area. That's the reason why I'm a little self-conscious of a lot of things I do, because I know there's some people that's all they do is cards and paper craft, but I love it all. So I hope you learned a little bit more about me, and if you have a channel that you may not have gotten tagged by someone, if you have a smaller channel, please feel free to do this and let me know down below, and I will certainly come watch you. And so I certainly want to give you an opportunity, you know, because when I was first starting out, if you weren't tagged, you really didn't feel like you could do it. If you have a smaller channel and you weren't tagged or whatever, please, by all means, do it, and I'd love to see. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.